prisoners of war back from Japan to American medical facilities. And to accommodate as many prisoners of war as possible, only skeleton crews of pilots, flight engineers, navigators, and radio operators were used. Before the end of August, our crew was dispersed. I was sent to a base at Fukuoka in northern Kyushu Island, where I was assigned the position of S3 officer. During the war, Americans were portrayed to Japanese civilians as sadistic monsters, and many Japanese were initially frightened at the sight of American personnel. I can remember also being puzzled at the time about the lack of information provided to American personnel to guide them in their relationships with the Japanese civilians. In time, under the occupation, both groups responded well and made the transition with surprising understanding and humanity. In the middle of April, I returned home on one of the American Victory ships. On the second day, after leaving Yokohama, we encountered rough seas, and many of us, including myself, were seasick. We were told that the turbulence was due to a tidal wave. It was many years later that I read in Michener's book, Alaska, that what we had experienced on that trip was a tsunami that resulted from a large earthquake on the island of Attu in Alaska. According to the author, it was, quote, an extraordinary event, end of quote, that sent speeding currents under surface water rolling toward Hawaii and caused over 240 deaths in its wake. Our ship had intersected this tsunami. Within 2 weeks after returning home, I reapplied for my position as a teacher with the Detroit Public Schools. And like many returning veterans, I went on with my life, married, raised a family, and I retired from public education in 1986. This is a true account, to the best of my knowledge. Information about the bombing missions was taken from the navigator's log. Bob McCauley had kept the log, and he distributed copies to crew members when we met at a reunion in Mesquite, Nevada in October of 1998. 8 of our crew members showed up for that reunion with their wives. My name is Albert Zack. My serial number was T9321.
Okay, well, that's pretty thorough, and that's a pretty interesting story, a real interesting story. How old are you now?
In 2 weeks, I'll be 87.
Oh, okay, all right. When you, what was the highest rank that you achieved?
The highest rank was flight officer. It's FO. It didn't mean FO in the way it's generally used.
Okay, all right. When you observed, when you were an observer going over Nagasaki, what kind of emotions did you have?
We were very, very quiet. There's almost no conversation on the plane when we went over the area, and we were shocked to see the extent of the desolation below. And of course, we didn't go down real low, but it was, you could see that it was complete destruction.
Okay. All right. How did you communicate with home, with your family and friends back here during your period of time there?
Well, we could send letters.
Okay.
And we didn't even have to pay for stamps.
Oh, okay.
Because it put our APO number.
Yeah. Okay.
We had to be careful not to disclose our whereabouts. And occasionally the officers would be called in at random to sit as